My name's Keith Miles. I'm a change management expert. I know you're looking for an outline to help your managers lead and guide their teams over the next few months, and I think that's great. I caution you though, if you give them something very complex with language that they don't typically use, their teams will just turn around and say, our manager doesn't talk like this. They probably had nothing to do with this. And if there was ever a time for authentic communication, it's right now. So let me offer you an alternative that's comprehensive but got accessible language that managers can take and grab hold of and make their own so they can be successful and confident moving forward, something you're looking forward to. So here we go. So why are we doing this? Well, you're changing everything. You're discussing, you're resetting, you're getting ready to launch, you want to be successful because you're reinventing everything. Your organizational processes, your organizational culture will probably never go back to exactly what they were before. Now your core values will probably stay exactly the same, but how you deliver value, what you do will probably never go back to exactly what it was before. So managers are looking for something to hold on to, a framework that they can feel confident in and move their teams through. Here it is. It's got three aspects. It's empathize, engage, and evaluate. So this is an outline of the three steps in a summary video. I'm going to do a little detailed video on each step and then a summary at the end. So it's a series of 5. This is number 1. So let's talk about empathize. You've probably been very affirming and positive in your communications. That's great. You said we're going to get through this together. That's awesome. But I'd like managers to be able to demonstrate emotional intelligence because that's so important in terms of empathy. So they can demonstrate emotional intelligence if they demonstrate 2 things. 1, honor. 2, accommodate. So what do I mean? Well, they need to understand what each team member has been through. Not in unbelievable detail, but enough to be credible. Then they need to be pragmatic and turn around to their teams and say, gang, it hasn't all been the same. Some people have been had it far more difficult, more challenging than others. And actually, studies have shown that people wait for you to acknowledge their uniqueness of their situation, before they're willing to go ahead with you. I put it this way in my change management practice. I say, if you honor people's past, they'll let you take them to the future. If you honor people's past, they'll let you take them to the future. So that's honoring. 2, accommodate. Now you've been flexible. You need to tell them that there's another round of adjustments coming, and you need to set that expectation up front. And in your communication, your interactions with teams, managers need to be consistent. So some people are now, because of time, are picking one type of interaction with staff and saving that for poor performers while praising high performers publicly. I recommend a more consistent approach where if you're going to meet with people, meet with everyone, high and low performers. And although the content of each discussion is totally different, people see that consistent approach, and that's a sign of good leadership. So that's how we can engage people and move them through. So let's talk next about engage. Engage, we need to reduce stress and help people cope better, and we do that by getting them access to things that they're comfortable with and they feel like they're contributing on. Here's how to do that. Propose half-finished ideas and involve them. So that's the 2. Propose half-finished ideas and involve them. 1, we're tempted when we have a new project as a leader, and we will have new projects and new objectives. We plan it out and then we just give it to our team, and the team says, well, you've made all the decisions. And that's more work, but it's also less engaging. So I recommend that you invite your team in. Leave the tactical decisions till later. Tell the leadership, yes, we're going to do that. But go to your team and say, invite them into the conversation and say, we're going to do this. We've made a decision, we're going to do this. But I got some real questions about how best to do that. Can you help me with that? You know the processes, you know the details better. Can we work together to help make the cut resources to do this more quickly so it has a better, reliable outcome? Can you help me with that? Well, of course they're going to say yes, because that's respectful. You're honoring their intelligence, their experience. Okay, so that's 1. The second is to involve them in their working time horizon. And rather than just talk about inspirational things and aspirational things going forward, which are cool, they're fine, but in order to engage people, talk about where they work, and that's the working time horizon. Keith, what do I mean? Well, what I mean here is that every job has a natural time horizon associated with it. From C-level executive down to front line, there's a time horizon. C-level executives are out 3 to 5 years as they plan and forecast. But frontline staff, there could be a week to a month, depending on who they are. Emergency room doctors can be focused on an hour as they give a med or an intervention, and they want to see a positive improvement in a patient. So it's nothing to do with intelligence. It's just every job has a natural working time horizon. And if we talk in that, we resonate with them. It's like they pay attention. It's in their channel. So we can be aspirational and targets about, that's fine. But to engage people, talk about where they live. Say, we can do this differently. If you did this and did this, we can do this better. Can you help me with that? Oh, yeah. Because if you talk about the details of the near-term actions, I call them, people go, hey, I can do that. And they feel like they're contributing, which is what engagement's all about. And finally, let's talk about evaluating how we how we assure our leadership that our part of the organization, our processes, are going to deliver the outcomes and the value that we generate and within the financial attributes that are required. So we do that by testing and verifying. And again, this is an opportunity to engage our folk. So we map out the processes of what we're involved with, whether that's software development, procurement, order fulfillment from customer order right through to shipping and invoicing. Doesn't matter what it is. Map the process. Everything we do when we generate value usually has steps involved. So map that out and then check all the assumptions. So what you want to do is say, hey, do we need the information? Or can we do this remotely? Can we do this with in parallel with another process step to shrink the cycle time? Check all the assumptions. And then each step needs to verify. They need to present a package of information that they need to do their job perfectly the first time. And they need to get that presented to them, provided to them by the upline steps. And this is so awesome because often each step can feel, in my experience, that they're not validated. And by doing this, saying, no, your step in the process is important because we're going to make sure you get that information in the way that you need it. Well, that's amazing because they feel often that, oh man, you're respecting us. And that's it's so engaging and encouraging to people. Next, they sign off that they're getting it. And does this work? So as you adjust these upline process steps and generate that information, what happens is that people get the information right the first time more often than not, and things move more quickly and more easily. I did this with a small organization. They were losing money, and in 2 years we did these 2 steps, and they went to making so much money that they were bought out by a multinational. Beside that, morale went up, frustrations went down. People loved working there because more often than not, everything came to them in clarity, and they could do their jobs easily. So what a wonderful outline that people can work through as leaders. So it has 3 steps: empathize, engage, and evaluate. If you're looking for the PDF, smgknowledge.com/reinvent, smgknowledge.com/reinvent. And we look forward to hearing from you and any suggestions you have on our videos going forward. So thanks for your time.